you go.
Oh, terrific. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Trying to reconnect it, too.
Oh. No, I'd leave it. Okay, I'll try and fix that in a minute. Hang on. Yeah, I'll try and fix it.
Is it logged into the Wi-Fi?
Yeah, I was, but I'll try and fix it in a minute. Hang on.
And 3, 2, 1.
Hello, everyone. It's episode 20, I think.
Ish.
Yeah.
We think. And we're back live. Okay, lovely. Cool. Hello. I'm Nick. Lee is actually in New York still?
Yep.
Okay, in New York, feeling all fluey, I believe. So that's not good. Dika is also feeling a little under the weather, so she was going to join us and won't be. So reigning supreme, we have Lisa, who probably has questions. And special guest today is Doxy.
Hi.
And we will be talking to her about a few things, including titties and clitties. Which, you know, a couple of my favorite
Two of my favorite things.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Surprise. And so I guess what we'll do is we'll go to Lisa first. We'll do the bra of the week, and then we'll jump from there.
Yeah, so I think we may be having some technical issues on the Facebook Live feed, but as always, we want to start with the bra of the week. Nick, can you grab Betty appropriately, please?
Of course.
In an appropriate manner. And I don't recall if we've seen this bra before or not, but it's so pretty. It is a panache bra. Panache is the bra that we featured last week, the sports bra. This panache bra is actually a balconette. So it's got the kind of the cup that comes up maybe a little more than halfway, and then the top part of it is that stretchy lace. And then, Nick, if you turn it around, I think we've got a J-hook on. This one's called Jasmine. Oh, so this is actually, if it doesn't come with a J-hook, Lee sells these clear straps that will make a bra a J-hook.
That's so genius.
Isn't it amazing?
Yes.
So, yeah, so some bras actually come, like the sports bra that we did last week, Doxy, actually has its own J-hook made with the bra. So you can make it a racer back or, you know, have regular straps. This one is the separate, so you can buy them separately and make any bra that you currently own.
Oh, every woman should own that.
A J-hook.
Every bra wearer.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
So it's, and again, I'm not going to do it justice because Lee's the bra expert and I just sit here and talk. But as she said, the majority of the work that your bra does is the band. So you want to make sure that your band fits correctly. And then the remainder is the strap and the cup. So it's really, this part of the bra is doing a majority of the work.
Makes sense.
And again, so the balconette, this is like what Lee's explained in the past, is the stretchy lace kind of helps because if you don't want that quad boob.
Yeah.
You know, so some people, depending on the bra style and the fit, you end up with, you know, looking like you're something out of The Fifth Element. So this kind of stretchy lace at the top is helpful for that. And there's a matching panty. And I think, like I said, Lee could tell you a whole lot more about this particular bra and bras in general. But
I love the marbled look of the fabric.
yeah, it's called animal black. So but you can't really tell from the live feed though. It sort of looks maybe an animal print, but also kind of an acid wash.
It definitely looks like an acid wash
mottled.
or like old marbled paper.
Yes,
That's what it looks
yeah.
like.
Yeah, like the,
And I do a lot of painting, and that's what my
papers in a book.
that's what my tarps look like when I'm done.
Yeah, yeah.
paint
So
everywhere.
it's
beautiful.
kind of gives you the idea of an animal print, but it's not like that straight up leopard cheetah
Correct. Yeah.
look. So that is,
essence
and again, this is the Jasmine balconette. And I'm just gonna say this is a 38 double F bra. Betty generally wears a G, so it really depends on what brand and style of bra that you wear. I have things that are double D and some that are E and some that are F. So this one is a 38 double F.
Welcome to the horror of being a woman and trying to get clothing on our bodies.
Exactly.
There's no standardization in sizes.
Thank you. Thanks, Nick.
She's gorgeous.
Yeah, and I mean, and it's interesting because of the way that the cups are manufactured too. Like they'll have some are 3-part, some are 4-part. And on our Twitter feed, we've put a few things up from. There's a woman called the Lingerie Addict. Her name is Cora Harrington, but she's
a junkie.
She actually has a book coming out, so I'm interested in reading that. It comes out in August.
So is a Twitter feed showing pieces and educating people
Yeah,
on what, like
yeah,
you
yeah,
said,
yeah.
3 section
So
4, section 4.
exactly.
Like,
So, like,
I don't know these things.
Right. And
Yeah.
so one of the things that she posted is how much construction and how many people it takes to make a bra. Like you think it's small,
like
it's not a
that.
big deal, but you know, like a shirt,
Yep.
like I sew, like that's, you know, more than just 2 pieces of fabric, but it's a couple of pieces of fabric and you just follow the lines.
But this is a
you know?
construction.
This is a construction project, and to get it to work right, and you know, it's got, you know, maybe 60 or 70 different pieces that need to go into it. And then she's also done one on I believe it was her that did one on different types of lace and why different laces are
Different laces
different-
have they
different
feel different?
value.
Yeah,
Right.
Exactly. Like this is a soft lace.
Right.
Like I hate scratchy lace. Oh my god, this
Exactly.
is flexible.
right. And it, I
So-
mean, and this article talked about Chantilly lace and what the hell that is besides the song that's in the Big Bopper. So we retweet her a lot
Nice.
because she's got some great educational information on that. So sorry on the Facebook people if you're trying to watch that feed.
I'm going to say the camera is cool. I like the camera on the tablet. It would be weird. Weirdly,
Right.
though, it doesn't connect.
So, well, and anybody who's listening to this is probably listening on SoundCloud, and they're like, whatever, we don't care. But
Absolutely.
so we're using Nick's tablet
Yes,
today
you
because Lee's phone is with Lee. And Lee is in New York City at the Curve Expo, which is a huge lingerie buying event that happens, I believe, twice a year. So they have one in New York City. Well, they have one in Vegas as well, but the 2 New York events are in late February and then again in August. And it's literally, hundreds of lingerie, swimwear, bra retailers. And so she goes to those and she can buy for the next 6 to 8 months.
She's in heaven right now.
Yeah. Well, and she met she's a super fan of Marlise Deckers, who makes some really amazing, fun bras that have like leather straps and
Meow.
hooks and all
I'm
all
liking
kinds
bras
of
already.
fun stuff. Yeah. So she was meeting Marlise Deckers last night.
Nice.
Unfortunately, she's been super under the weather and is still sick, but she made it out for that. So I'm looking forward to hearing next week about her interaction with Marlise Deckers. She's pretty sure that Donatella Versace was at the event that she was at last night. So, hey, wow,
That's nice.
kind of high end.
Or was it just Maya Rudolph? We're not sure.
Right, it could have been Maya Rudolph. We don't know. And I tweeted out a picture of her with a Project Runway model who was at the actual expo during the day yesterday with Curvy Couture, who is one of the suppliers that Lee uses. Posted something by Azure. I have a few Azure bras. They're really nice, pretty. Alomi. So she goes there and goes to kind of each of those vendors and sees what's going to be coming out in terms of fashion colors and all of that for the next season.
Nice.
I think Lee may be listening because I just got a text from her.
Okay, well, that's nice.
There was a Victoria's Secret model.
It was a Victoria's Secret model? Okay, that makes sense.
And Frederica, the Victoria's Secret model, was also there.
Oh,
How do you spell
Hi,
it?
Lee.
Hi, Lee.
hi, Lee.
I'm trying to Google
don't
Marlise
really know
Deckers
who
and I
that
can't
is.
figure out her last name.
It's Dekkers.
What?
Yeah.
She's
She's
Dutch.
she's
Say
Dutch.
it again. Thank you.
Sorry.
She's from the Netherlands.
Yeah, it's
They reclaimed most of their
E
country from the sea. It does
KK.
weird things to the language.
DERS.
I love you
Marlise
because I keep going
Deckers.
up with Bob Marley stickers and lingerie. I'm like,
So
Oh, these are beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So Lee is texting us, and I feel like, oh gosh, the boss is watching. But she says, I am so fucking sick. So
Okay.
shout out to Lee, and she also went to Kinky Boots, so I can't wait to hear about that.
That's nice.
Yay.
And
Yeah.
also next week she has an assignment. Well, one, she's finished because she finished watching American Gods, Nick.
Oh, okay, great, cool.
Oh my God, we need
So-
like 5 more seasons. I don't even watch
I know.
TV,
I'm like,
and
when's it
I,
coming
they're
back on?
So good.
Yeah, I know. Well,
So-
given the pace they're going at, I think,
It'll be
we
forever.
could probably do at least 3.
Well, and so my sister and I had watched it. I'd watched it for the second time with my sister when she was down visiting. She doesn't have cable up north, so we binge watched it, and then I got it for her for Christmas.
Right.
And she let her friend borrow it, and I got a text from her the other day that was a forward from her friend, but I didn't realize it at the time, and it was like, oh my God, what the fuck am I watching? There's giant dicks, holy balls. I think that the old gods are sadists.
Yep.
What is going on? And I'm like, she's already seen this. And then she's texted me again, and she's like, this is a text from my best friend who is now watching American Gods.
Well, it's kind of like I know you don't watch Game of Thrones, but it's kind of like sitting people down to watch the Red Wedding, because that's always fun to see. Just people's responses and stuff, and it usually involves heavy alcohol use afterwards. So
you can just dial in a favor and get Ian McShane on, because he's got nothing to do.
Yeah, he's got nothing to do. Hi Ian. No, I mean, you know what? I should reach out to Gwen next time they're in town.
You said I would be his kind of girl, so
Yeah,
throw
you
me
would-
out there.
you
Use me
would
as
be
bait.
kinda-
Yes, isn't it
yeah.
amazing?
Okay, I'm going to tangent back to the God
The
box.
Marley Stuckers?
So this is a Garley Stuckers.
Golly
Stuckers.
Stickers.
Oh, this is so...
So
That's the
for,
This is the
pizza
Earl
that they do.
Lagertha balcony bra. Oh,
Isn't it amazing?
OMG.
So for
This
those of
is
you who can't see
gorgeous.
Doxy's phone, which is everyone but me, this is a Marlise Decker's bra that is like a natural color.
We'll
It's a
post the
tawny
picture.
leather.
Oh, great.
Yes.
We'll post the picture.
Ooh,
So it's a
tawny leather.
It's
You like
it's
that?
a like
I
a
do, yeah.
beige with like tawny leather straps and
gorgeous.
oh my
I
gosh.
actually generally love the word tawny. It's
It's
just
a little-
It's a
Figured
great
you would,
word.
which is why I
it's
kinda-
just a beautiful word.
It's a little naughty and nice altogether.
Yes.
So American Gods, and then the other thing that is Lee's assignment, and now that I think she's on her way to the airport, so she can listen to it. Lee is at least the Sid Vicious episode of Disgraced Land.
Oh right.
Do you know of Disgraced Land?
No, but I
Roxy?
love. Keep going.
Yeah,
I don't
okay.
watch TV. This is
So-
great.
So this is a podcast.
Well, okay. Thank you.
So it's called Disgraced Land, and the gentleman who does it, who I believe his name is Jake, he actually tweeted back to us when we talked about it last week, and he's interested to hear our thoughts on it. But it's a podcast all about shit that went down with people in the music industry. So the first episode is Sid and Nancy.
Yeah.
Another episode is on Jerry Lee Lewis, and not his 13-year-old child bride, but the fact that he may or may not have killed his fifth wife,
Yeah. These,
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
are rumors.
which
yeah.
I had never
This guy is
heard
notorious.
before. Yeah, and so that was fascinating. And then she says she'll listen to Disgraceland.
Oh,
Nice. There's one on Sam Cooke.
Yeah,
You
Sam
mentioned,
Cooke's
yeah.
coming out next week. I think March
Yeah.
6th is the Sam Cooke
That should be
episode.
fun.
How fun to be doing the research for those.
I know,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Oh my god.
And he's just like, his voice is fun. He's got like that kind of rock and roll, like, oh well, Sid didn't care, like I don't
doing
give a
this for
shit
so
kind of
long.
voice,
Yeah,
which
exactly,
is perfect
right.
for this
Right.
kind of podcast, and he doesn't use any of the music, and he's like, here's this like, musical, it's like that music that you make with a keyboard that's recorded, the pre-record.
Hilarious.
He's like, and we're not using, Great Balls of Fire because I can't afford the licensing. It's too expensive.
Right.
So
He
instead we're
mocks them.
listening
Oh,
to the
that's
shitty
great.
music. It's right. It's
Nice.
I love this guy
hilarious.
already.
Yeah. So next week, Lee's going to listen to Disgraced Land, and we're going to talk about her thoughts on that. We're going to talk about her thoughts on American Gods season 1.
That's nice. It's always fun.
Season 2 better be coming out soon.
Season-
And she's going to tell us a little bit about her experience this week, which includes some sort of meditation and a shaman, but I'm going to let her hold on to that and talk to us about it next week.
Yeah.
In which Lee talks about psilocybin. That should be fun.
I'll be here for that.
Yeah, okay.
I
Yeah.
have
So,
some samples. If
The
you
other thing, before we hear what Doxy is up to, the other thing I want to circle back to is, was it last week or the week before I talked about Musher Twitter?
You talked
that
about
last
Musher.
week?
Well, you've been wanting to talk about Musher Twitter.
But I
for a long
actually
time,
talked
but
about
you
Musher
actually
Twitter
talked about it last
week. Okay. So
Yeah.
while I was talking about Musher Twitter, I feel like adult now because I'm sitting here in a relatively warm studio talking about sled dog racing. And the woman I was talking to you about, Blair Braverman, was actually doing at the exact same time a 300-mile unassisted sled dog race through Saskatchewan.
Wow.
Where it was 50 below zero, and
Jesus.
typically, there are checkpoints, and you can have you have a handler who helps you,
Right.
feed the dogs at each checkpoint and things
Yeah.
like that. And she had to do it all for herself as a qualifier for what's called the Yukon Quest,
Okay.
which is a much longer race. So they have to prove that they can do these shorter races.
Right.
Yep.
the
By
shorter
themselves.
race, the 300 shorter.
300-mile, yes,
Yeah.
3-day race.
True.
So
Okay.
she was off doing that in the middle of the backwoods of Saskatchewan, and here I am going on and on about
She's
Musher
hardcore.
Twitter. She's hardcore.
Yeah,
she is.
Saskatchewan is one of the coldest places
Fucking cold.
on God's own earth.
Yeah.
Bitch gets balls.
Right, she does.
Yeah.
So they are now headed up. They are going up to Alaska.
So she
because,
qualified?
No, I don't know if she
Okay.
qualified. I think they have to do a bunch of calculations and I don't know if there's an algorithm or what, but how it works for the qualification. I don't think it's you cross the finish line and you qualify. But she did cross the finish line, which is amazing because I think 3 racers had to scratch because they're worried about their dog's health and their health and things like
yeah.
that. So they
Right.
have a help button where it's I'm out. She made it. She crossed the finish line. But no, the Iditarod is next weekend
Okay.
or this weekend. Actually, I think it starts this weekend, the first weekend of March.
That's this weekend.
Yeah. So they are actually going up to volunteer at the Iditarod.
Ah,
Nice.
okay.
Good way
Yeah.
to build
Is,
relationships.
Juice?
Yeah.
Is that his name? No, Quince.
Quince Mountain.
Quince Man, is he also going to be...
He's going up there. They're both volunteering, but I think he generally serves as I think he's one of her handlers and helpers on most races.
Okay.
And then I think he also is a beekeeper in the summer months.
Fun stuff.
Yay.
Yeah, they sound like a fascinating couple.
They
I'd love
do.
to have them
They
for
do,
dinner.
yes.
And their
Do
dogs.
they come down? Are they ever coming through Michigan? Because that seems like a fun...
I believe they've done the Upper Peninsula. There are some races in the Upper Peninsula
That
and northern
sounds about
lower.
right, yeah.
But I don't know that they're ever coming through
Well,
Southeast Michigan.
Well, you have the in on Musher Twitter. You need to send them an
Yeah,
invitation.
any mushers who want to stop in Detroit, come on through. We'd
Bring,
love to
bring,
have
bring
you.
the dogs.
We'd love to have you
you know,
on
I
the
built
podcast.
Podcast Detroit does have a field unit, so
And I gotta
we
say,
could go to the dogs.
if you
as long as they're not
right,
too
right,
far away.
well, right, not the 8-hour drive to
No.
Copper Harbor. Well, Copper Harbor is an even longer than 8
Oh,
hour drive
yeah,
from
Copper
here.
Harbor's like about 11.
But yeah, so the Marquette had a race, and I think they were in that, which that's 4 hours from my
That's
hometown,
8
which is
mile.
4 hours from
Yeah.
here. So that's an 8-hour
Yeah,
drive.
that's an 8 hour.
So anyway, Musher Twitter. And if you do check out Musher Twitter and Blair Braverman and Quince Mountain, and there's several others, but those are I'm crushing on those two. They post pictures of their doggies all the time, and you could show me a picture of a baby, and I'm like, whatever. But show me a picture of a dog, and I'm like,
You're one of those people.
I am. I'm
Yeah.
totally one of those people. So she has a dog. I think my favorite might be Boudica. So.
Oh, that was my dog.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's got a Boudica. Boudica is beautiful.
Is this a brand of dog?
They're
the
all
name?
No,
they're all
it's just the
huskies. No,
name.
Boudica is the name.
You know the names of them, you guys. are
Yeah, she's got
adorable.
Harry, who is named after Bean, so he's Harry Covert.
Yeah.
He's blind,
Wow.
but he's still a working dog. So yeah, I'm telling you, I'm sucked into Musher Twitter. They actually have an event right now where you can. It's like fantasy football, but it's fantasy mushing. I don't understand the rules or anything, but you can go on to Musher Twitter if you are interested in doing fantasy sled dogging.
Like,
And
Like,
you can
number
get a
of
fantasy
miles
team.
traveled.
I
or-
think there's a whole lot of that, like numbers of miles traveled. Who's going to pick what dogs for when? Because you can change out the dogs, and who's going to be.
I like what we learned last week, that like certain dogs are just like, have like unworthy fame thrust upon them, while others who are unsung just
Team
have that-
Togo.
Yeah, Team Togo, exactly.
So yeah, last week we talked about the Serum Run, which is if you know the Disney movie Balto, the cartoon. So Balto was like the famous dog. There's a sculpture of him in Central Park and all of that. And he crossed the finish line and he ran 55 miles. But there's another dog that
Ran
really
most
ran
of it.
a huge part of it and was 12 years old when he ran it. Which I'm like, old people dogs,
Yeah.
yay!
my favorite thing is
Not
that
getting
Balto is actually, the statue of Balto is covered with the medals and awards that were actually given to the older dog.
Older dog, yeah. That's
'Cause
the rumor.
Balto is basically,
He's got
Kenneth Branagh from the Harry Potter movies.
He's got a good manager.
Yeah,
they know how to brand him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, he did his part. He just
And so did the other one.
right.
Yeah.
Right. So, anyway, that's an update on Musher Twitter and Blair's experience with the 300-mile race in 50 below zero weather while we're sitting in
Sweet and
a
dandy.
45-degree podcasting studio.
We are lucky.
450. It's probably warmer than that. It's slightly chilly. It's not 50 below.
No.
So we want to talk about Doxy and what she's doing, and also lady stuff. So Nick, where do you want to go first?
Well, let's talk to Doxy, and then we can come, and then after we've done that, we'll come back to the delightful topic of needlessly gendered things,
Yes.
because that came up.
That came up this morning again.
Morning. So,
Nice.
hello, Doxy.
Hello.
Hello. So, you've actually been on the podcast before, back when we were in the holding cell.
Yep.
In things, which I still find
Is that
a
the
really weird
Detroit
place.
studio?
The Detroit studio, yeah. The
never
Detroit
been to that one.
studio is, it's down some suspiciously easy to trip down stairs in an old police station.
Sounds
Southwest
hot.
Detroit.
Sounds
yeah,
haunted.
Southwest Detroit. Yeah, I'm sure. And you're in what was a cell.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Cool.
it's
It was kinda cool.
It's kind of cool. Yeah.
I mean, it's covered in this stuff, so you can't
So
really
it's
tell.
kind of like if you guys have been up to the old sanitarium in Traverse City that they renovated,
Yeah.
and the restaurant,
now, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
they're part of it is there's a little restaurant that
Oh, it was-
actually has like some of the old cells. The tables are in each of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Part of it's a restaurant. There's other parts where they can't because the unquiet spirits
Right,
won't,
right.
won't allow any kind of prep or orders to happen.
They just start
But-
throwing
Or they
salad.
will, and
Well,
yeah.
they will. Yeah, exactly.
I didn't order
I
this.
ordered the beef. Why does it have eyes still? And why is it screaming
Ooh,
at
that
me?
reminds me of what I watched last night, but we'll talk about that after too.
Let's talk to Doxy. So, tell us a little bit about yourself again, Doxy. And then we'll talk about titties and clays.
Titties and clays. Hi, I'm Doxy Detroit, and I do a lot of things. I don't even know how I met Lee, but I actually fell in love with her and then found out about this fun little project. So I'm willing to play with you guys at any time.
Okay.
Avid Detroiter, live in Detroit, play in Detroit. I like to facilitate the dreams of others.
Mm-hmm.
Let your brain figure that one out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do a lot of community projects and art projects in the city. And one of them happens at the Dirty Show. This year was our 12th anniversary for being at the Dirty Show, and this year's anniversary of the Dirty Show was 19 years.
Oh yeah.
Hard to believe, right?
Jerry does some
Jerry
interesting
Vile.
stuff. Yes.
Jerry does really interesting stuff. It's funny
Yeah.
because for years Jerry didn't even know what we did at the Dirty Show, which is hilarious.
That also
Because it happens in a
sounds
private space.
consistent,
Well, it's a
yeah.
private space,
Yeah.
and we
Yeah.
have a booth outside and table, and people talk about it, and then you come into a booth, the door shuts, and then that's where the magic happens.
right.
So I remember one year, maybe 5-6 years ago, Jerry calls me. He's like, "Hey, are you a lesbian?" And I was like, "Hi." how are you? And I'm like,
Seems like an odd
"So-
first question.
Yeah. Okay, welcome to my life. And I was like, "So what's the question for?" And he's like, "Well, I have somebody who wants to do an interview of a lesbian, and I thought of you because of what you do is art. And I was like, oh, that's so nice of you. I do love cunts, and I do love, vaginas, but no. So as much as I want to take the press from this, and I could fib it,
But
I
not
can't
in that
do
way.
that. And he's like,
Right.
all right, goodbye, click. And I was like, ah. So maybe a few years later, he still has no idea. And I'm not gonna lie, he's incredibly generous to us. We are very lucky that he just lets us do this thing. He has no idea what we do, but women walk out of our booth happy, ding, And I'm keeping it veiled right now. So then another year, one of his girlfriends was at the event, and I was like, come in, I want to show you what we do. And she's like, no, I didn't have time. And I was like, okay, another year, And then,
Right.
then finally the next year she came, and we did a print of her, and we had her have the experience of what we do in our booth. And I don't even know if she ever told him. And they're not even together anymore. So I still have no idea. Last year he came up to me and he's like, I have a woman. She's going to cut in line. He's like, yes, she is. She's first. Hi,
I
how
love
are you?
the phrasing.
And I was like, all right, come on in, babe. He didn't come in. So he still has not seen what we do and the service that we offer.
But he sent in a scout.
I'm intrigued.
But he sent. Well, he wanted to give someone an experience.
Yeah,
they were a
exactly.
visiting artist from somewhere,
Right.
And I was like, "Come on in, honey, take your clothes off." So yeah, it was pretty.
Okay, I'm intrigued. So I know of the Dirty Show. I've never been to the Dirty Show.
It's an erotic art exhibition of every different kind of medium you can think of, and then there's live performers, and then there's people on stage, and there's boylesque and burlesque, and there is some people call it pornographic. The
Boylesque.
art boylesque is pretty hot.
Oh,
I love
the
burlesque.
artwork has gotten so much better, I think, over the years.
incidentally, you
Point, go
bring
ahead.
you bring up boylesque. So, just a quick aside. A friend of mine down in Atlanta wanted to know about podcast recommendations, and he's a boylesque performer.
Yay!
So, sketch. If you watch this, if you can watch this, or you listen to this, I will send you the link. The Dirty Show is something you should maybe look into.
Oh,
Coming
come
up
perform.
to come up and perform.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next year's the 20th anniversary. I'm sure it will be
Exactly.
a blowout.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Sketch also is the animator for the show Squidbillies. If you ever see
Oh,
it.
that's awesome.
Seen it
Yeah.
in
Okay.
passing. Okay.
Okay, good tangent. I like that.
And we're back. All right, cool.
That's a good
So
tangent.
it just recently happened, right? The
It always
19th.
happens the weekend before and after the Valentine's Day.
Okay.
So yeah, it's 2 weekends. It's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Titties and Clitties does not do Sunday. And then the following Friday and Saturday. And this year, the first weekend was the horrible weather. But we were busy the whole time.
I believe that's the weekend we went to the con.
The weekend was
yeah,
pretty
the
miserable.
Boulder
Yeah.
Con. Yeah.
The
not the
roads
con,
were,
but the roads.
yeah,
were
the roads were
horrible.
horrible.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
And it's always like the last Saturday is like the big blowout, crazy party, super fun. But like tickets sell out, if I'm not mistaken, every night. So it's definitely a thing that you want to get to and get your
Right.
tickets. And next year, like I said, 20th anniversary. I'm totally giving
Yeah,
Jerry
that's going to be a
Vile
big
like that.
deal.
Yeah.
We have some really cute outfits at Boston that people could wear, like the
Oh.
long line bra I have. It's
Hello.
amazing.
Yeah, and you
So-
can wear like. Here's a lot of people dress up. Like they, and some people have no idea. Like I'm going to the Dirty Show. It's kind of like those of us who are like perform there and do things. We're like the underbelly of the world performing for suburbanites who like this is like a hot thing for them.
Right.
Right.
Like, it's
right.
like the date of the year, and
Right.
and hello, welcome, come play with us, and you
Yeah.
get a little microdose of what's, kinky. And for them, that's probably like great foreplay. And like some of them will dress up and they have these great outfits on. You can literally wear anything you want there as long as your nipples are covered. Like if I cover you in paint, which is part of our project, you are able to walk out. As long as your nipples are covered, Vice can't get you. Oh, and your vagina too, duh.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, and
Because they're terrifying.
can't have
They
those
will.
out.
They have
Yeah.
teeth and they will eat you.
But nipples,
Vagina
man,
dental.
they're
dangerous. They're just dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we-
So do you do body painting?
Kind of. Yes. So we create an intimate experience for women, and it is I live an experiential life. I want my turn at everything, right? So let me back up. In 2007, friends of mine, Athena, Monkey, and Rabbit. Yes, we're all humans, but we all have these little nicknames. We were raising some money for the Detroit Dream Project, the temple up in Brightmoor. It's
Okay.
still there. It's by
Yep.
the Redford Theater. We had a matching grant that we had to do, and this was just a fun way for us to make money. So we started doing prints of our bodies and our vaginas and selling them at the Dirty Show.
Sure.
And then we were like, well, let's do live printing. So we started doing prints of people who were there, and it was great. Obviously, those sold better than our own. So then the temple got built, and then I was like, well, this is silly not to keep doing this. So I started doing this for another fundraiser that I have, which is Burners Without Borders, Detroit, the Homeless Backpack Project.
Yeah.
So this is our biggest fundraiser of the year. It's kind of funny. So it's called Love a Cunt, Titties and Clitties. And it's a very intimate experience. And so I pull you in, and you are, I have a small little thing I can read to give an explanation of it before I go into it. So it offers women the experience of being the subject of an intimate performance piece, where they are the canvas, the medium, and the art. So every woman is a unique and lovely creature, just as every breast and cunt is unique and incredible. Therefore, each print that is made of your body will be one of a one-of-a-kind impression of the foundation of your femininity. Some will produce abstract art, some will produce very anatomical pieces. So we no longer do cunts. That's a lot of work.
Imagine it gets a
Like
little
clean it up is
messy.
really messy. And with the very first year, we actually did penis prints as well, but you had to have a fluffer, and it was a lot of work. And it was fun. Like, we'll do that.
Logistically, I can see
Yeah,
that.
we do that in
logistically,
private
you
now.
You would think not, but yeah, men have a terrible performance.
Oh, yeah, well, hence the fluffers.
Yes,
yeah. And they were
exactly.
good at what they did. But this is about serving women. You know, it's
Yeah.
love a cunt, titties, and clitties. Women are mean to each other.
True.
Watch me look at you. You know what I just did to you. For those in the audience who don't know, I just gave her that 2-second look where I just sized her
The
up.
mean girls look.
The mean girl look, yeah. Like we judge each other quickly, and you know, and it's horrible. If we can be vulnerable to each other, we can strengthen each other. And you know, I'm with you. You know, and
We're
that's
holding
kind of
hands
that's what
now.
we do. You know, I don't want to be. I don't want people to be judgy and all this. And so this is a safe space for us. Like on the outside, we're selling. We call them vag badges. They're felt badges made out of. To look like vaginas, and we have wood badges that look like vaginas, and they're keychains, and then we have like cunt cups and cunt coasters, and like we have this thing, big sign that says "Love a Cunt," and we got a big sign that says "We get chicks naked," and that's the cut phrase. Like we get chicks naked to help the homeless,
Right.
and on the outside, it's at the Dirty Show, so it's flamboyant and it's fun, and like we're playing with people and it's sexy, and then when you come into the private space where I'm at or one of the other printers, that drops. This is a space where we're serving you. I'm there to take care of you. I'm there to tend to you. I'm there to give you a moment off, and I print you. So what happens is the ladies on the outside are selling this. The ladies on the outside are selling and explaining what it is. They're explaining that we're raising money for the homeless. All the money that we raise goes to our Homeless Backpack Project.
Sure.
So you come into the space. Actually, it's set up differently now. The people who organize this, Jessica and Gretchen and all these people, you guys are amazing. They all do this. They're on the outside selling and organizing. I'm horrible at that. So I'm in the inside just printing and like in my little safe space too. But you pick 3 colors that you want. You come into our space. There are 16 by 20 canvases painted black. So you've got your colors. You strip from the waist up. And I paint you. I put the canvas between us and then I hug you. And you are the impression that's left. So you're the artwork. So you're the canvas,
So
you're the
really,
medium, you're the art.
you're giving visual imagery to a hug.
Absolutely, yeah,
Pretty much.
and the beauty of who you are, right? So, and some of them, like the colors that women pick, are like beautiful and outrageous and fun, and they have so much fun picking their colors. Like I don't know, and they'll spend however long they need to
I
spend.
have a hard enough time picking out nail polish at the nail polish.
Yeah, and so
place.
we were like,
Right.
they'll like put their hands up, like, you decide, you're the artist. I'm like, honey, we're collaborating. What's your favorite color? Let's start there. Or if they're making it as a gift for somebody, and what it is it's all of us have, when we're in this intimate space, it's, me and you, and you're naked. Like, you're naked. Not only just your clothes off, like you're coming into a space with a woman you don't know.
Right.
You've been talking to women outside who are making you feel comfortable and explaining it to you. And then I come in there and I serve you, right? So I'm there to help you be comfortable with, I'm helping you and helping me and all of us become more comfortable in our bodies. Like I have hang-ups about my body. You know, I was anorexic at 14. I've had body image issues ever since. I'm now a woman of a certain age. So like some of those 14-year-old brain thoughts are coming back, you know, and I'm just like, whoa, where'd that little person come from? So I want all of us to feel comfortable with who we are. All of us have cellulite. A lot of us have stretch marks. A lot of us have these hang-ups in what we're, you know, and with these vessels that we're in. And this is us explaining to women like, yo, cunt, I see you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not judging you by the body that you're in. I'm judging you by who you are, and the body that you're in is beautiful. Like women come in and they're like, you know, they're hiding and they're uncomfortable and like they're trying to like, don't show my fat or don't show my stretch marks. I'm like, honey, none of that's gonna print, and it doesn't matter anyways. That's who you are. Especially if you have stretch marks, I'm like, you made a baby.
Right, exactly.
Like, that
You
is
did
like
something with that body.
that's an award, you know. Like, look at that beautiful thing on you. Like, you just made a human,
Yeah.
you know. And a lot of men, they're allowed to bring who they want into the booth,
Right.
as well. And like, so like, I'll be having these intimate conversations, and like sometimes people are partying in there. Most of the times it's an intimate partner. And like we're having these conversations, and the partner's like, "Listen to her." Like, you know, you guys are like, we're having these great conversations, and the
Right,
men
like
are
the partner sees the beauty, but
And
we see
all the
there's
flaws.
hair, and there's a
Yeah,
mole
oh my god, there might be
here
hair on my
and-
nipple, or
right.
there's a pucker on my leg. I'm like, I have all of these issues. Like, you know, I think of all this stuff, and then the men are like, they have to listen to the women self-deprecate.
Right.
Right, and we all do it. I hope not all of us do. Like, you know, I'm constantly working on it too. And so what we're doing is, he understands it, and he wants her to hear it from us. Like,
Right.
it doesn't matter what he thinks, you know. Like, she's not
Right.
going to listen to him, but maybe she'll, like, if we're all talking together, we can get over this together because I love you for who you are. And then you walk away with a beautiful print.
So
you
it's
know.
therapy and art.
Oh my God, it's so
And it
much
raises
work.
money for the
And it
for
raises
the burn.
And it
Yeah.
raises money for the homeless.
Exactly,
Sounds
so-
amazing. Well, and one of the things that, as you were explaining this, that I was thinking is that it's interesting that it's really to have someone take care of you is a position of vulnerability. Like it puts the person getting
yeah.
care in a vulnerable position.
Women are used to taking care of everyone.
Right.
We do all the things.
If I let you help me, then I might show that I have need.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. And so like some women will be like, they'll try to grab the baby wipes. I'm like, girlfriend, put your hand down. I'm like, I will clean you as well. So you take your clothes off. I do the rest. Right.
Right.
You know, but yeah, you do have a job. Like when I ask you to stand still, ground yourself, and then I hug you, and then I'll whisper in your ear, hug me. You know, and then
Right.
that makes the print
To
a little
just
dark.
pull
Yeah.
closer against
Yeah, and it
the
makes a better
canvas,
print.
yeah.
And then I literally take baby wipes and I completely wash you down. And then I walk out of the room, and you have a few moments to do whatever you need to do, and then I walk out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good,
So.
actually, because ritual bathing is actually a very important thing that we don't do much these days.
Right.
So
Wow, I
it's
never even
interesting.
thought of ritual bathing.
It's
I
basically
totally
a ritual
am.
bathing is what
Cool.
you're doing, which is something that humans have done. Okay, so like for example, we always talk. There's a phrase for sex work where people talk about it being the oldest profession, but the oldest profession is really beautician or hairdresser or ritual bather, because even before humans were humans, they groomed one another, and that's actually the oldest profession and the oldest expression, also the oldest expression of human connectivity is grooming.
Right.
So
Well, and that's
that's-
interesting, Nick, because I can't ask you this question, given your hair situation. But what, like, when you go to get your hair cut,
Oh my God!
what is the
I
best
love
part about
someone
it?
washing my hair.
It's getting your hair shampooed by someone
Yes.
else,
Oh my
God.
right?
And, like, I love showering with partners, right? And I'm
Yeah.
like, just wash my hair.
Just wash my hair. yeah, and that's like,
you
and
put
it's
your
like
head
really
in that
like
bowl.
like you don't.
Oh
need
my
to sh-
I never even thought
yeah,
of this.
like,
yeah.
Yeah.
you know, showing your dick to me, I don't give a shit. You know, like, but wash my hair,
hair.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
something's
so,
gonna happen.
So, yeah,
And,
so
and
like
that's why some
I,
people have a thing about like shaving their partner's legs or something like that. You know what I mean?
oh,
Like,
I've
it's
shaved
like,
many a testicles.
Yeah.
It's a very
You know what I
intimate,
mean?
lovely
It's like
thing.
it's
Yeah.
Oh my God, that would take a
it's a
long-
very delicate. It's a
about
delicate
trust,
thing, but it's a trust, and it's also.
I don't
a
know that I
connect-
trust
a
myself.
connection.
a bit of a tremor. I don't know.
As long as you're not using a straight edge, everything's good.
Yeah. But yeah, so I have handled more boobs and everybody in this room times 5 probably. But it's not about like, boobs. It's 'cause, which is funny thing is like this year I wasn't supposed to work. I was only supposed to work one night. I ended up working all 4 nights.
Right.
Now last night I was done. This is when you mentioned therapy. Like it's therapy for me as well. Like I get to support and give love. I'm a servant. I serve in everything I do. Right. I'm a librarian. I'm a notary. I can marry you. Like everything I do is I serve people.
I might need to talk after this.
All right.
But
Wait. Let me just do a tangent. Like, I'm exhausted by the end of this because of all the energy that I put out.
It's an
But
emotionally...
it's emotionally
And it
draining.
can be good, but you
in a
still
good way.
have an emotional energy exchange.
Absolutely.
Right?
It's good stuff. And like there are women who have cried in my arms because of this, because they're like this is such a hard thing for some women. Mind you, there's other women, by the time I turn around, their clothes are already off. I'm like, whoa, slow down.
And you were saying that I'm the second kind. Whatever, I'll take things off. But it starts out in gym class in junior high, right? Like you have to have gym with other people and you change, and
I didn't.
like you
Hell no. I was one of those girls. Like,
hide.
Yep.
They're hiding in
Yeah.
a corner, like
Yep.
changing, and
I was that
everything is a
14-year-old
body
girl.
shame thing, right? It's
For sure.
I'm not, regardless. I mean, you could be the hottest
It
girl
doesn't
in
matter.
the school, and
Right.
you are like, I don't want other people to see
I
this
have the
because
skinniest
I have
girls
this
come in and talk about like, oh, I'm so fat, or they're like, oh,
Right,
I
I have a
fat show, and like,
pooch,
I'm
or-
just like,
yeah.
oh, baby, you're beautiful, you're
Right.
beautiful, And
I joked to someone the other day, I'm like, if I had a time machine, I wouldn't go back and kill Hitler. I'd go back and beat the shit out of my younger self.
yeah, right.
For
But
for
how
doing
about,
all the
how
stuff
about
to myself that
we
I
go
did.
back and like beat up media that makes us live up to these expectations, which are
Right.
completely unattainable.
Right.
Right.
I'm like literally watching TV, and I'm like, every single woman on there is wearing fake eyelashes, and I'm supposed to have the same kind of fucking eyelashes.
Oh yeah. I mean,
No.
hello, look at Photoshop. It
You
makes us think
know?
we need to look like
Right.
whatever.
Everything's airbrushed. Like,
Yep.
I love the celebrities who have recently said, you know what, I'm going to be on a cover of a magazine without all of the airbrushing.
Did you see the new Lane Bryant advertisement?
Yeah, which had-
Boom.
No.
Yes. Okay. This woman has. I'll find it.
She has
for you. Go.
cellulite.
Okay, yeah, no,
Nick.
yeah. Doxy can find the picture, but I had to have someone tell me what was significant about it, because I'm looking at it, I'm like, what,
Oh, yeah.
what? But yeah, apparently there are stretch marks in there.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like,
We see it all, though. We do.
I
And Lee
just-
just,
We
I thought-
magnify everything.
do.
Yeah.
We don't just see it.
I
We see it
thought-
yes.
magnified.
I
That's
thought
true.
it was actually something about the lacing in the particular garment.
You're like, I'm not seeing the
like,
garment issue.
You're adorable.
Well,
yeah,
and-
I think she's really pretty.
Yeah, and she's
I
beautiful.
don't
And
see the
funny, I think she's real pretty. You don't even see her face. It's just her body.
yeah.
Right? Yes.
And Lee just mentioned, texting me that in this, I had kind of thought about it too, but hadn't said it. The dressing room is a similar place, where
Yeah.
you're in a situation, Lee's not hugging and body painting, but it's
She
in a
experiences it
situation
too,
where she
yeah.
experiences it too, especially with younger girls who are just starting down their path of, having breasts and trying to figure out what the hell to do with them, and so it can be a very sensitive place for them, for all women, of course, and then for some in the community who are trans. She's working with a lot of populations who have body issues just because of the media, but also because of other things that they're going through in their lives, just emotional, hormonal changes and
It
things
is an
like that.
incredibly vulnerable place to be naked
Right.
in front of somebody. So, like, I mean, you're naked, but you're naked.
Exactly.
Like
Right.
you take off this armor
You
of
have
these
this
clothing
right.
that we have. Like, I've got this shield. Like, I got this style, but when I'm naked, that's totally different. It's gone.
That's all me.
Yeah,
right?
right? So, yeah, oh my gosh. And, like, think about the lighting in those places. It makes it even, more horrible. So, see, these are some of the Lane Bryant ads. Like, they're real women with real curves.
Oh, wow,
and
yeah.
they've got, like, their cellulite showing. And
Yes,
like,
I see
they're
your
crossing
streaks
their-
in their stomach.
Yeah,
but like,
exactly.
but
It's just they're humans.
the baby stretch marks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and Lee, I'm going to read her text because I miss you too, Lee. She says the biggest competition is the mirror. We have
Oh.
to start finding the beauty in ourselves.
Absolutely. And how do we
I
do
think
this?
you're helping do that.
Yeah. It's about taking away the competition from other women, too. Like, if I tell women they're beautiful all the time. Like, I've been doing this, like, since I was in my 20s, and hence which perpetuates the whole like you're lesbian. I'm like,
Right.
oh, okay. I love women more than most women. I'm like the gayest straight girl ever. I love women. I love looking at women. I love looking at the curves
Well, I mean,
of women.
we
And so
have
I-
beautiful bodies.
Well,
no offense, Nick,
absolutely.
but-
I think
guys-
guys have great bodies too, especially that little part. But anyways, but
Right, yeah. There's
I
some,
love-
but
Yeah.
I mean, like
But
women, just the breasts
we need to
and the
compliment each
hourglass.
other, and we don't. We have
It's true.
this bullshit idea that it's a societal construct that I'm going to compete with you, and media's going to make me compete with you
Right.
because
I have to be prettier. I have to be
yeah,
smarter.
which
I
is
have to be the
bullshit
best.
because guess what that does? That makes me give my energy to you instead of giving my energy to the things
Yeah.
it needs to go towards, which is changing society. So
Oh, time.
10:48.
Oh, cool.
Attention.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
So yeah. I want to get. I want to get. I want to. I'll try to work to eliminate. I'm not going to try. I'm going to work to eliminate the competition. I tell women all the time, I think you're beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And
yeah,
women,
that's
like,
what I was
they look
thinking
at you
of when you
crazy.
said that. Yeah, I have always felt like, you know what? Tell people when you compliment them because
Yeah.
you could be having a
free, it's
shitty
easy.
day and somebody
Jesus.
comes up to you and I'm like, I'll preface it with, okay, you're probably gonna think I'm crazy, but you have the most beautiful eyes that I've ever seen. Like
Don't preface
Why
it
not?
anymore. Screw the preface. Just think you're beautiful.
Yeah.
Right? Like we don't need to like put this like because you're doing that because you're like I'm breaking social norms.
Right.
I'm going
I'm not
into your
supposed
to talk
to
bubble.
you.
Right.
Yeah, fuck that. Just say hi. And then but don't make it be with some false compliment. I had a girlfriend
no,
once.
no.
Every time she sees me, she's like, "Oh, that's a nice, beautiful scarf you're wearing."
you're like, I'm
there,
sure you
Nick."
read that book
Like,
to tell you, like, make
Yeah.
one
Yeah,
compliment
Jesus
a
Christ,
day.
it
Like,
was
compliment
so
it.
false. Like I wanted to punch her in the face. I loved her, but I still wanted to punch her in the face. I'm like, don't be false
it.
about it. Yeah, just
Stop it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I do think it's great to give compliments. It's great to give compliments in a universal way, too, because one of the things that will often come up is about the fact that, and this will lead on to our needlessly gendered things.
Yeah.
Look at
Well
this.
done.
I'm
well
working,
done,
Nice
working,
segue.
working.
Wait, I could have done that too because we do print men chests.
You do print man chest? That's nice.
Last year we had a guy who was so hairy, and when he pulled it, when I pulled it away from him, all
it
the
was
texture.
like nads.
I bet that was really
Yeah.
cool.
It was like these
texture.
little. Oh my god, it was
Yeah.
so great, and the texture's still there. I saw the print last week.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's so great.
So, there's often the thing that people talk about, like, women get complimented on physicality, and, you wouldn't do that to men. I read that years ago, and I do at least attempt to, like, compliment prettiness regardless. So, like, I was down at the DIA, like...
I see a pretty man.
a while
I'll tell him
back.
he's
Yeah.
pretty.
Uh-huh, me too.
Yeah, it's different though when a man does it though. When a man
Yeah.
tells another man, "Hey,
Right.
love your hair.
Because
that
of
is
our
beautiful
culture.
hair."
Yep,
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
And that's a gendered thing, and that's the way in which we needlessly gender stuff. And
Is
that
it an
brings us-
American thing? Because you
You
look
know
at the
what? I
intimacy
mean,
of, like,
if you've ever listened to Legally Blonde the musical, which is one of the greatest musicals ever, there's that song "Gay or European" about whether there's a guy in it who
gonna
they
Google
can't
him.
work out whether he's
Gay or
gay
straight.
Yeah.
or straight, and they go,
Oh, he's
but
European."
he's European. Okay, so I mean, even as someone who's British and we're terribly reserved, I do tend to compliment people regardless, whether it's like if it's pieces of clothing I like, because clearly I like
Yeah,
You're a
hello.
fashionista.
Yeah.
I like clothing.
You
So
have
I
good
will do
style.
that, and if it comes from me, I think people can look and say like, well, this person actually likes clothes.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that. But I also compliment, because there is one guy, he's a security guard down at the DIA. I have no idea who he is. I'll probably never see him again. But when I was passing by, he had really great hair. So I was like, your hair is really good.
Why not? It's
Yeah.
it's like we break the little bubbles that we have around each other, and like the whole like the thing that we have all these things that are distracting us. Just reach out and say something to someone. It may lead to a great friendship, relationship, whatever. It
Right.
can be anything. Just say hi. Doesn't
And-
mean I
And
want to
even
fuck
not.
And
you.
even
just
if it
means I'm
doesn't,
saying
it's
hi
just
to
a
you.
brief
Good
moment
interaction.
of
Of happiness.
Human
Yeah.
interaction, because
Yeah.
it might, like you're saying, that
Spread the
person might be
happy.
having a bad day or whatever, and like you just
Exactly.
walk down the street happy. Like there's a building I'm working in downtown, and I have apparently this is called an apple hat. Apparently it's a style.
It is,
Okay,
yes.
thank you.
Yep,
You know
yep,
this.
yep.
So the guy last night he's like, "Oh, you got a black apple hat. I like the brown one better." And I'm like, apple. Like,
Yeah.
I don't get it. And so we had a conversation. So I would have never chit-chatted with this dude if
Right.
he didn't, like, dig my hat. You know,
Right,
and he's like, I
right.
got a brown leather one. I'm like, ooh, you going to wear it tomorrow? You know, I want to see it. You know, so, like, that's how we're going to build, like, our friendship,
Exactly.
you know?
Exactly. And on the subject of needlessly gendered, so here's the thing. There have been a couple of stories recently about things which are aimed at gender, at men or women specifically.
Mostly women.
Mostly.
Women.
I know where this conversation's going.
Although there are sometimes equally ludicrous things for men, but the ones which have been higher profile have been the ones aimed at women. And the one I saw this morning was Johnny Walker is bringing out Jane Walker, which is whiskey, Scotch, for women because apparently women are intimidated by whiskey, which amazes me because
Bullshit.
most of the people I know who are really into whiskey
Are women.
I know a few men who are like really boring about Scotch, but most of the biggest fans of whiskey I know are women. And I find it hilarious that
Do not buy this product. Do not fall
Exactly.
into this advertising
Exactly.
crap. Here's another one. Nair for men. Are
Nair
you
for men,
kidding?
yeah,
Because you can't
exactly.
buy
Look at
the
the packaging. It's blue
Right,
and
right,
silver and black.
Because you
It's
can't buy the
because-
pink bottle.
Yeah.
It's
No, you
already
can't.
there.
No, no,
the
you can't do that. You
ingredients
know,
are
you're
the
gay
same.
if you buy that.
The ingredients are the
Exactly.
same,
Right.
but the packaging
And I
says
wonder, like,
this is for
this
men.
This one's probably more expensive, though. Usually
Although
it's the
usually
other way
it's the other
around,
way around.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I wish
So-
you guys could have seen Jess's face when Nick mentioned that because she was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Don't do it. Don't give in.
Everybody loves whiskey.
Well, and that's what I said. And I'm like, you know what? It's not that I'm intimidated by fucking scotch. I don't like scotch because it tastes like
Right,
it tastes like
right.
moss. Like
Putting
it's
in
not
a
because
pink
oh my
bottle
god,
isn't
I'm
gonna make
afraid of
me-
a Johnny Walker
Yeah, I know.
label.
Right. That is
What in the
And let's
actual
bear in mind,
fuck?
let's bear in mind, a lot of Johnny Walker is like blends, so it's not
Right.
like it's even like really highfalutin
Right.
Scotch. It's a blend.
And so Nick and I were kind of talking about this a little bit beforehand because a couple weeks ago, you know, the Lady Doritos thing came out that the CEO of PepsiCo, who is a woman, had done an interview with Freakonomics Radio, which is a podcast I listen to. So I was on a flight back from Phoenix and I'm listening to her, and then all of a sudden it blows up on Twitter. And she's talking about how, you know, women eat Doritos differently than men because they don't like to lick their fingers of the chip dust, and they don't like, you know, men will tip back the bag and eat the crumbs.
I do all
and,
these things.
And
Yeah,
they don't want to
I
crunch.
know.
And I'm like, well, I guess I eat Doritos like a dude then, because
Me too.
I'm licking my fingers. I'm eating every damn chip in that bag, even the little crumbs.
I
Whatever.
like the crumbs the best.
So right, so they're like,
right.
we're developing a product
Not that I eat
you know,
Doritos, putting it out there. I hate
women
Doritos.
will eat. So they're like, they don't crunch as loud. I'm like, so basically you're gonna like open
Make
the bag
it
and let it sit there for
softer,
They're
2
get
weeks.
soggy. Yeah.
So I'm
Squishy
gonna
chips.
So I'm gonna have
So
stale
was the person on
Doritos?
Freakonomics calling her out for lying and like just bullshit?
No, they were just like, you know, it's a CEO
Okay,
of a big
there
company.
was-
I want like
Mhm.
I want a bullshit bell.
Right.
No.
Right.
Like,
Right.
ding,
Bullshit
ding, ding,
bell.
that's fucking stupid.
It's absolutely retarded.
There's
Sorry, I
even,
didn't mean that,
there
but we're
have even
stupid.
been people where they've done research on like drinks where they won't do straws for men because it's not manly
to
to
drink
use
through a straw.
Correct.
to put like something that's longer than it is wide in the mouth. It's unmanly to use a straw.
So what have they developed round bananas yet?
I don't know. Well, yeah, exactly. The thing is, though,
So we'll call them
everyone,
mananas.
Yeah, bananas. Bananas.
Not to be confused with manana.
Yes, exactly.
Hilarious.
Which, though, actually, everyone should drink like a man then, because plastic drinking straws
Yes.
are terrible.
Throw
Guess what? Guess wait,
never
wait.
buy
I'm in
drinking
a
straws
tangent
again.
here. Guess what? I drank my smoothie out of this morning. A glass straw.
I've
Nice.
Fully
Nice.
blown
Yes.
glass straw. Thank you, Jenna. It was amazing. Yes, it was gifted to me last night, and oh wow, that was just
Yeah.
kind of cool.
So, yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right.
they're like microbeads. Don't buy stuff with microbeads in it because
that
it's
can't-
actually
yep.
plastic, which
Yep.
I never knew
Now we do.
Uh-huh.
until now we do, and they're all over the
Yep.
water systems. No plastic straws. Bad, bad, bad.
Yeah. But remember,
Like stop the waitress
Remember,
though,
if
like
you
or the
don't-
waiter.
yeah,
It's like,
exactly.
don't want your straw.
Yeah.
You know.
so yeah, remember, if you refuse a straw, you're drinking like a man. Because that's
I will
that's a
tell you, I
man
make a really
drinking.
good key lime martini, and you know it's like bright green and.
Why? Is
What
it
a
sugary?
girly drink! What a girly
Yeah.
drink that is with
I
like
have been
alcohol
told that's a
content
girly
of
drink.
like
Exactly. It's got 4 shots of vodka and not a lot else, but okay, it's green and slightly sweet.
and it's the sweetness you see. It's
Right.
sugar
So,
and spice and all things.
In order to stop this
intoxicating.
gendering, we need to just don't believe the charade that we live in, and just
Mm-hmm.
tell media in the advertising like,
I'm already like, put pink on
Bird.
something and fuck you, I'm not going to buy it.
OMG, I am the same way. Hello,
Right.
what's my favorite color? Black and brown and gray and Blake. Like,
Purple.
I won't
And-
buy these
and
things.
The weird thing is, you go back enough years, and people would talk about how, well, a woman could never wear a fiery, intense color like pink.
Pink. Right. It was a man's
Hilarious,
color.
right?
It needs
Yeah.
to be blue.
Back when we were forced to
gentle.
eat graham crackers,
Right.
right? So
Yeah,
we'd be highly
exactly.
sexual, right now.
A gentle, heavenly color, serene, blue like the sky. That is the color of women. Whereas pink, that's a fiery, strong man color. And it's just.
It's all just.
I say this while I'm
Stupidly dumb.
covering in like burgundy.
You're in
and
Burgundy.
pink.
You're in lots of
Burgundy
Burgundy.
and pink and purples and stuff,
Purples.
which are all my favorite colors. So, you know, it's,
Yeah,
You wear
it's
them
just
well.
the whole idea of slap a color on it and all of a sudden
Yep.
it makes it one gender versus another
Yeah.
gender.
When
You know,
I
if I'm
buy
gonna wear
baby
pink, it's
stuff
'cause I
for,
like
for
pink.
friends, like I buy like they have black and red blocks because it's,
Yeah.
it's
'Cause
that's
eye
what they see.
stimulating. Yeah, exactly. Or I buy gender neutral colors. I will not buy any children a color thing. It goes back to the whole baby Y thing. Like let's try to like raise our children gender free. Like I don't have kids, but that's I manipulate the gifts I buy.
Right.
right. And,
I'm
and-
doing my small part.
Yeah, and that's actually the thing because, like, you have those pink or blue bedrooms, right? Neither of those colors are good for a tiny baby.
Absolutely not. They're not stimulating at all.
Yeah.
Yep.
Black and white base with like primary colors
Throw some
in
reds and
spots.
yep.
That
That's what they
is
see.
what
They're
you
like,
actually
oh,
want to.
they
yeah.
can't differentiate
Yeah.
any of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Humans are dumb animals sometimes.
So, yeah. Okay. So that
So I just want to reiterate we got to wrap up, but I want to reiterate that Doxy, the Titties and Clitties is a fundraiser for a homeless backpacking project that you do.
Love a cunt, titties and clitties. Let's
Love
put
a
the whole
cunt.
title in there. Love a cunt,
Titties and Clitties.
Clitties is a homeless. It's a project that we do fundraising for Burners Without Borders, Detroit homeless backpack project. All the money goes towards building supplies for that. We may
Right.
be at PenguCon coming up in May,
Oh,
and
okay,
we're
great.
hoping to be at the women's art show that happens at the Tangent. I think it's like March 8th. It's a one-day event.
are you going to be doing a similar the thing again there, or
Yeah.
are you going to do? Okay, cool.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of crazy to just do it for one day, but whatever. It's a fun experience. And
I mean, the setup is fairly,
I've got a 10 by 10 pop up now
Yeah.
that has private walls and it has a divider, so like
Yeah,
it's a
so-
completely intimate space. And we create a whole big space at the Dirty Show. Like
Oh,
that's,
but,
that's
yeah.
really elaborate
Yeah.
there. But now
Yeah.
we're portable.
that's great.
So yeah.
And
Awesome.
we because Lee and I are involved in Rotary, so did Lee talk to you about the thing that we're planning for homeless focus groups?
Oh, the wiki? I got the wiki.
No, not the wiki.
Okay,
it's
sorry.
a different thing. We're
Okay.
actually looking to do. I'll talk to you
Yeah, I was
afterwards.
gonna say we should probably-
But yeah,
Wrap up and talk
We'll
about
wrap
that
up,
offline because we
but
do
yeah.
want to bring you in on that.
Okay.
yeah.
Well, we should also talk about, has she talked about the collection of bras? Like, I'm
yeah.
collecting bras all
that
through March, giving them to support the girls. There are many locations in the Tri-County area that are taking bras. The Motor City Tattoo Convention this weekend is taking them at Carl Cunningham's booth. And I will have a bunch of bras that I'm taking there, and they're Busted will take them, and there's a few places in the corridor, Midtown. So yeah,
So if you support the girls, is if you take your old gently used bras and let's say you've gone to Busted and bought a new Jasmine, and you want to donate your gently used bras rather than just throwing them out, there are people who can use those who may not otherwise have access. So
because bras are expensive sometimes.
they can be expensive, and so Support the Girls collects those, and I believe they also collect feminine hygiene
They do,
products.
yes, correct. And we're collecting those as well for them. Yep.
Okay, great.
Thanks.
Well, thank you for joining us, Doxy. Hopefully you can come join us again when Lee is back in
Oh
town.
my God, I'll join
and,
you guys anytime. It's just I'm really bad at mornings.
Yes, we
I'm
all
getting
are.
better. I'm getting better.
We
Okay.
all are.
So there was a great episode, and to play us out, God, every time I hear that, I think of Bill O'Reilly now. Anyway, to play us out, here's the vomit spots. Oh, wait. There we go.